We are Legion.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and I'm joined by my good friends, New Guy Ryan and Chris, the comic vet. And we got a lot of good books to talk about tonight, as well as some other stuff. But before we dive into any of that, go ahead and check this out. So if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell, and that is already relevant. Again, last week we did the 600 subscriber giveaway, and I'm less than 30,
what number he's on anymore.
I'm less than 30 away from 700. So I've already got some prizes set up. I'm going to be adding to it, and let's get there. Share this channel out with everybody. Let your friends know that this is the place where fandom happens. We love talking comics, movies, everything. And bring a topic and we'll dive into it. And this is just the place for fanboys to come hang out and just do what we do best. So let everyone know where to come hang out on every Sunday night. And let's hit that 700 subscriber mark. Let's do it.
Hashtag grow together.
How many more appearances do I have to make to get to add like new guy of Legion of Comics?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know how much you were able to be present in the chat for the 600 subscriber giveaway that I did live, but I definitely made sure to give you credit for how much you do for this channel, man. You're definitely a mainstay. I appreciate it.
Probably bring it down a bit.
Well, that's good though, because I don't need to grow too fast because it's hard enough to keep up with the giveaways and stuff. So that's what you do for this channel.
I'm the safety brakes.
I just tune in to get a close-up of your head, man, every week.
Yeah. So before we go any farther, let's go ahead and hit up the chat. There's 13 people that are starting the show with us, it looks like, or 12 right now. So we have Lucretius 1971 in here, all the way from New Mexico. What is going on, brother? Ruben Guzman, dude, I absolutely refuse to put this book up. Did you see this, Ryan, that he did?
Yeah. I saw that. That's so awesome.
Insane. Yeah. My wife couldn't believe it. When I showed her the back of it, what he wrote, she got all teary-eyed. I'm like, well, maybe you should watch the channel sometime.
Wow.
We had Chip Getler in here as well. Tried to get you to win last night on Elite Stream Channel and failed. Jason from Slotted Up, what is going on, my guy? Pocan Joe, all the way over from Blasting and Stashing Comics every Friday night at 10 p.m. My favorite chat to hang out in. And I don't know why these guys aren't all over the place, dude. I cannot shout them out enough, but it's just three close friends that just their dynamic with each other is just unbeatable because they clearly have known each other for a long time. But also, Pocan Joe has his own separate channel, the Blasting and Stashing, just where they all come together. But on his channel, he does comic reviews as well as he goes into his secret lab or secret lair, and he does all kind of workshop projects. And it's insane. It's really cool. But be sure to check them out. Come hang out with me in the chat every Friday night at 10 o'clock over there. Then we have Lucretius 1971 again. We have Comicade. What is going on? Another guy with a fairly new comic YouTube channel, does some really cool stuff over there. Very creative individual. And here's another one from Blasting and Stashing, Spectacular Spider Grandpa. How is it going, Mike? That's where the magic happens. No, I hope not.
It sure does.
We have new guy himself, Martian Manhunter, the one and only. What is going on, bud? Jeff, Ramon, how are you? Yeah, it's getting right up there. Mars Comics is in the building. Free
buddy
Louie. We got Tolt Fiction in the chat. Boom, 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 boom.
I was on Panda's live stream earlier. It was awesome. Did y'all catch any of that?
I popped in for a bit.
I was out and about. Yeah. Appreciate you dropping those links, Louie. There it is right there, guys. Y'all check them out.
Those covers were fire.
Yeah.
What was the unboxing?
He had two artists on. He had Cardboard Crazies and Roscoe. They
No, I
showed
know
off some of their
Chris.
stuff.
I know
Man,
Chris.
Roscoe,
Crazy. Who is Roscoe?
He's a homeboy of Cardboard Crazies, but
Oh, that's the
he's
dude
fire,
that
dude.
is that the dude that Chris had on his channel last week?
Probably.
It's
I
like
don't know. This is my first time
his
really
wife's
watching
friend's
him.
husband.
He's kind of got a Seth Rogen laugh. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's
But
awesome.
he's doing like this Venomized cover competition or whatever,
Mhm.
and he did like Patrick Star Venomized, and this like Ren and Stimpy one.
Ren
They're
and Stimpy, yep.
Venomized, cat dog Venomized. Like
Yeah.
they're
That's pretty
fire.
awesome.
The was it Chris from Cardboard Crazies? He did a fantastic Venomized Hulk. I watched him do it for a few hours last weekend.
Zombie
Yeah,
Hulk, wasn't it?
yeah, the Zombie Hulk one. He showed the finished product for that too. Yeah, that was actually a real fun live stream to watch.
Yeah, that's a new video series that looks like he's going to be doing called Drawing with the Professor.
Yeah.
Such a good dude. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, I
That's
was
what
on
we
that
need.
one too. His Drawing with the Professor. I watched that Saturday morning, and that was that turtle he did was awesome. But
Mhm.
Ruben scooped it up and bought it like instantly.
Mm-hmm. But like Panda was saying in the stream today, you know, like it's just crazy like how he explains everything, you know. You can tell he has a teacher's mind, you know, and he's kind of explaining what he's doing and why he's doing it very well as he goes along.
That's a good idea right there, Mike.
Art of Roscoe on Instagram. There we go.
Hold on, let me fix this.
Boom.
There you go, Chip. If you guys want to drop people's links out there, Chip, I gave you a wrench, buddy.
Yeah, Panda dropped it as well.
Panda, you are the man. Yeah, I hate that I wasn't able to make that, but dude, I've clocked out today, day 12 in a row without a break from work. So I told my wife yesterday I want to take Finn and Laura to CC's Pizza. It's just a little pizza buffet with a little arcade, you know, just to wind down. And I got off working completely, just didn't even think about anything yesterday. So we even had pizza for lunch, but I was committed to taking him to go play some skee ball or ski air hockey. So we went and played air hockey, and I just got home. But it was a blast.
Well, the tournament's officially over, right? So
Which
when
tournament?
does? Yeah, exactly. So what point does the town start to shrink back to normal then?
Oh, you're being serious. Okay. You mean the Masters tournament. So
Right.
it's over. So like it ends like pretty quick because like people start leaving beforehand. Some people only have practice round tickets, you know, and it's not a lot of people in terms of that. But as far as my job, today we're expecting it to be like the great exodus, like the majority of people leaving, but this isn't the normal crowd that we would have. Normally it's people that are renting their houses out because you get like $50,000-$60,000 to rent your house out to people coming into town, you know, and they stay in people's houses instead of hotels. But anyways, those people come into town for 10 days straight, you know, and they'll bring their pets with them and stuff, or people who rent their house out. So we have like a solid 10-day block that nothing moves. And then finally everyone just leaves at one time. But this year's been different because they didn't have full capacity at the tournament. So it was just a lot of people getting to guilt-free travel for the first time since COVID because our school spring breaks, a lot of work things, they all coincide with this week, you know, that way school's out for it, everything. There it is. But we expected to have about like we expected to have like about, I don't know, about 50 animals clear out today within 20 something customers, and not even half of them picked up. So it looks like tomorrow is going to end up being the big Exodus day, and then after that, it's a massive cleanup effort. So I'll get off next Friday. It's coming Friday. So when it's all said and done, it'll be a 16-day stretch.
Ryan, you can't be showing that bad boy off back there when I'm in the middle of a serious conversation, man. That ain't cool.
I told you we don't have any confusion.
Hey man, the best comics and the best movies always have like a lot of background action, so you have to watch it multiple times, you know. Y'all see what happened on the rewind, on the replay. There you go.
So yeah, all those Hasbro Pulse just dropped their little event over the last week or whatever, and they did those metallic Ranger figures. And Bart, they don't allow people overseas to participate in buying their product for some reason. So yeah, I order them for them, and then I ship them overseas. Yeah, give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourself. I have to go get this kid a cookie.
All right.
Ugh, kids. Hey.
Mine's all grown up. I was gonna I know that we're gonna get into the bat really quick, but I gotta say, this was all right. This was a decent bounce back. I know you guys are probably gonna say, nah, well, but I actually
I
thought
didn't even read it.
okay, I thought it was a decent bounce back. There was one part I kind of thought was silly, but it is what it is.
Dude, we went to the pizza buffet, and I told him he had to eat before we played. And I told him if he doesn't eat, he's going to bed hungry because we don't have any cookies. He didn't believe me. He knew I was lying. So he didn't eat because he wanted to get to the arcade. But whatever. And they're not cookies; they're oatmeal cream pies. It's just what he calls them. You can live on oatmeal cream pies, I think.
You Americans continue to blow my mind every day, man.
Real quick, before we start diving in and reviewing comics, is there any kind of announcements, news, or anything that really happened this past week? Because I'm kind of been out of the loop a little bit with the amount of time that I kind of get to see notifications or hear anything. Is anything spectacular happening anyway?
I saw that JT tweeted earlier.
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, Tynan tweeted earlier that his most recent trade paperback is the best-selling trade paperback of the month, and that that and Something Is Killing the Children is the trade paperbacks have been dominant over the last 6 months. So he was very thankful for that. That's the only news that I saw, is that his trade paperbacks are still doing very well.
That's good.
That's a solid update.
It is.
I don't think I'm trying to think I can't think of anything else that really went down this week. It felt like a pretty stable week for the most part.
Yeah. I know that I saw that video of Oscar Isaacs kind of doing some training to get ready for the Moon Knight stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Yeah, what all did you pick up this week, Chris?
I picked up a lot.
Let's see them.
I picked up a lot. I picked up a hell of a lot. Let's go with what I consider to be the cover of the week. Yeah, the Bat 107. Again, Lee Bermejo is still a master of the craft when it comes to Batman. And
is that Bermejo or Martina?
You tell me. I thought it was Bermejo.
I think that one's Martina.
My mistake. But the interiors by Jorge Jimenez is fantastic. Just fantastic. And I picked up ASM. Much of the same as the last issue. Geiger.
Which cover was that?
This was the Jason Fadebach from That Country Where I Am. So I went with that particular issue.
Dude, Canada's killing it right now, man.
Yeah.
Crushing.
Good Canadian boy too. And King in Black 5. I know that you don't have much love for it, but I actually thought it was a real good conclusion. As I picked up this fire cover, Venom Growing Wings, and if you didn't read,
or something?
yeah, and
Nice.
the segment, and then I picked up the normal cover. Again, this was actually, I thought, a real good book. I did get through this. Your hot pick from last week. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, held true too.
And that was a real good curve ending. And I picked up this, and we can talk about that. And that was my hot pick from last week, Silver Coin.
Good point, Chip. Real quick. Action Comics, what was it, an 8.0? Sold for $3.25 million this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I had to throw that out there.
Nope. And Action Comics #1, also done by another Canadian. So yeah, I'm proud to see that. Proud to see that book setting new records. Yeah.
Are they Canadian? Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster.
In case everyone thinks that Todd McFarlane is the greatest Canadian artist or greatest Canadian comic creator of all time, the answer is wrong. It's Joe Shuster. Joe Shuster is Canadian, was Canadian. After the Second World War, he did get dual citizenship and became Canadian American. Yeah, Joe Shuster is from Toronto, Ontario. And the hot rumor that I've always heard my entire life is that Metropolis is actually Toronto in the comic books, but that's an argument for another day. But yeah, Joe
See,
Shuster is
that's
Canadian.
fantastic. Two things
Mhm.
are really starting to happen the more time I spend hanging out with you. One, I'm saying Maestro. Two, no, I said that wrong. One, I said it. I was able to pull it off in that video. I said Maestro over the weekend.
Yes, yeah, and I appreciated the shout out when you did it too.
I'm starting to get it in two. I'm thinking that I should move to the Great White North.
If you want to get in the comics, come on up, man. There's lots of room. Whoop, whoop.
That sounds like it's already dominated.
Isn't it Maestro?
It is Maestro, yeah.
Yeah, I've called it Maestro since I was a kid, and Chris has to correct me every time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just as a hardcore Seinfeld fan, I can't let that go.
I hear you looking at me whenever I say it, even if you're not around. I can hear you looking at me.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know. Whenever you say it, I'm like, man, where is Chris? I go straight to the comment section.
It's going well. It's going. I got some sun today. I don't know if you can tell.
I can.
Got some sun today.
Did you go to this tanning bed?
Hashtag.
I went
no
outside.
sleeves. Yeah.
I went outside. You said it like it was the first time in a while.
No. I mean, it's hot here in Kansas.
Yeah, it's been pretty warm. Like it's kind of been like desert weather almost. Like I wake up and it's like it's nice. Like I still wear shorts and short sleeve shirt, but I'm chilly. Like opening up the job, And then the middle of the day, it's hitting the mid 80s. I'm like, that's not bad. Just stop right there.
Are you
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Are you excited that the Masters is over?
Well, yeah, it's not quite over for me. That's what I was just talking about shortly ago, that we didn't see the exit of people like we normally do. So tomorrow is really going to be, I'm going to start my day off early with a ton of work. And then it's just all day long. It's going to be me just thinning out the number of animals that I have. So I'll probably go, like I was expecting 50 something to leave today. We have like 20 dogs leave today. So I'm still rocking huge numbers. So tomorrow I'm hoping to see about 80 animals leave or so.
Okay.
It's going to be like I'm like Noah tomorrow, just opening the doors.
Just let them go free.
Yeah, they'll find their way back to whatever continent they belong on. No inconsistencies there. Well, was that all you picked up, Chris?
Oh, I also picked up one of your absolute favorite runs that's happening right now, The Immortal Hulk.
Book is insane right now, all over the place.
And again, firepower.
I haven't read that yet. I forgot that came out. That's one that I read digitally. That's the only book I read digitally.
And Noctera #2.
Nice. I still hadn't started on that one. I'm thinking I should.
Apologies for the glare. I did pick up the trade of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. I haven't gotten into it yet. I did read issue 1, so looking forward to getting through that trade. But when I really first started getting into the community and started being a little bit more of myself, the one thing I noticed about Americans when they do unboxings, they pull out these incredible blades, like it's like Rambo knives, and I served, like I've seen some weaponry in my time, but the household knives that some of these Americans have just blows my mind. And it's not really a thing in Canada. It is, some people do carry around pocket knives, but nothing to the extent that I've seen a lot of these unboxings happen. Like it's like Wolverine just popping stuff out and just going through it. And the very first time I made a comment, I believe, was Slotted Up 503's channel. He was unboxing something, and I made a comment about it. And then Jimmy from Small Town, the one thing I noticed about him was he actually just used like a very small, like maybe 2-inch long pocket knife. So I made a comment like, "Wow, that's really rare to see." And then of course, and then he made a comment like, "Well, real men don't need big knives." So it was just a nice inside joke. But yeah, again, like I'm sure all the three of you right now could probably reach over and pick up something that's at least 3 or 4 inches long to just slice open a little bit of Scotch tape.
Yeah, dude, it's like
look at Steve looking around. He's like, "Yeah, I got a blade. Yeah, I got a good one."
Grabbing your keys, your watch, your wallet, and your knife is just second nature. Like I can't tell you like how many times I've had to sharpen this one. Like this is just like a little $4 knife. It's literally just a tool. I use it countless times every
Yeah.
day. Like
Yeah.
in my job, it comes in so handy. It's just part of the outfit.
Right.
I just took it to go eat pizza and play in an arcade. You know, it's America.
Right.
America.
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 I can't say it. I'm sorry, guys. I love the United States. Don't get me wrong, but it's just it's joining this community and witnessing a lot of these unboxing videos. It was just like, wow, you guys are freaking serious about your about your knives. But yeah.
Knives get confiscated at my school all day long.
Yeah,
Like
it's
there's a ton of them.
Ryan, what did you pick up this week, or what did you read digitally? What's on your list of to read?
Man, I totally forgot about Firepower until he showed that. Now I'm like, man, I can't believe I haven't read that one. I checked out Green Lantern, Magic the Gathering. That was surprisingly cool. Origins wrapped up. That was awesome. Suicide Squad, incredible. Swamp Thing, amazing. Three
Steve?
really good books.
I'm glad you asked. They're right here. Yeah, they're all right here. Read this. This was like an origin. It felt like it didn't say that, but it definitely felt like it. That was good. More setup stuff. Sick cover, no doubt.
cover of the week.
Mark's favorite book.
Yeah, but what's surprising is I'm upset that I haven't read it.
It's actually good.
I'm
It
happy
is.
I didn't buy it though.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
It is good. It is good. It's fun.
I've
This-
heard y'all say that too many
This was
times.
fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not read this yet, but I did pick it up. Gleason.
Very nice.
And
That's
then-
going to a second printing, by the way.
Is it?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Probably going to black.
With the red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me hit a couple of these. Use a different knife for every unboxing from now on. You should do it.
Tag me in your stuff.
All right, so I want to go through this one. That'll pop up on a video tomorrow. So I picked up Joker Harley. I forgot that I picked this up because I had my books in my room to read, like when I lay down, and this didn't make it back. So I haven't read this. It's the only one from this week I haven't read. I think it's the finale. And then Sumerian, issue number 1, where they just kicked off a new miniseries. They're all miniseries from Ablaze with their Conan stuff. 7 Secrets, number 7, and Dadgummit. This is an amazing book. Geiger, number 1, disclaimer. It was a good book. Batman, the Second Son, and I wasn't mad at this, like, at all. I didn't know if I'd enjoy it or not. I didn't even have it on my pull list at my LCS.
Can we talk about that first?
We'll go through them for sure.
Because I want to
Batman.
hear your thoughts.
Batman 107. Quick question, Ryan, did you read it?
Nope.
Okay. The backup story was good.
We're going to disagree on that one, Steve.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad number 2. I feel like Hanna-Barbera picked up the backup story. It felt like it was a Johnny Quest all of a sudden. And Swamp Thing number 2. Immortal Hulk 45. And King in Black number 5. And real quick, I want to get this out of the way before we do anything. Then let's jump on Second Son, because I think everyone did read this, right?
Yeah, I read it.
I did not.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ryan, you got the gist
I
of
pretty
it.
much got the rundown on it. Yeah.
All right, I want to just throw my thoughts out there real quick. It wasn't a bad comic book. It was a horrible King in Black story from like the expectation level, and it was just flashy. It was a honey dick issue, like as Blast and Assassin would say. It's just a whiskey dick. It was just flashy, and it really didn't hold much relevance to anything. It was chock full of inconsistencies, and why did that really happen? And I think people's excitement from the hype just glossed them over when they read it. Now, was there a cool action? Absolutely. Was there cool things happening? Yes. Did they make sense? No. And that's what was throwing me off, because I don't just look at the pictures and read the words. I do both of them together. and I remember the issues beforehand as well. So it was just chock full of holes that stood out like a sore thumb. And again, here we go. Thank you, Mike. Where's Mike? Boom. They have a whole little thing for it. When they get a whiskey dick issue, they have like a Disney logo go up made of whiskey bottles. That's fantastic. But that's what this was. Like I honestly feel that he was fully committed to this Noel storyline all the way up into the point of this starting to hit shelves, and by then he's done writing it and he's excited and into other stuff or whatever. So he just got it out there and didn't pay attention to the little details that to me stood out like sore thumbs. I've heard a lot of other people talk about it. They didn't really catch them, but I had fun reading it. Don't get me wrong. I just think that was really crappy for the people who, I mean, I'm not the only person who notices little details. And it wasn't really little. Like, why was Noel running from Eddie because he had the light in him? There's a flashback where you see Noel and the light fighting like age-old time. It was what they did, and Noel clearly was like the one that kind of came out on top. But all of a sudden, he was running for his life. Like, they didn't establish if it was Captain Universe that wielded Mjolnir or if it was Eddie. There's no way it could have been Eddie. The whole, like, and I made this point hanging out Friday night on their channel is when, Eddie's like, he's turning a new leaf. He's a good father now, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't make you worthy of being a present father. That makes you a dad. And that's all. And that's not something to be proud of, but that's not something that you get a badge for doing. That's your job. You don't, that's just what it is. But Noel rolled in on Celestials and ran from a dude with a surfboard in his hand, basically. Like, let's get real.
Amen, first of all, to that. That was pretty good. I don't know if I would be the only one to say this, but this was good. This was better.
I haven't read Venom yet.
I thought Venom 34 was better than the King in Black, but obviously it was the setup for the finale. I just want to understand how we're having King in Black stuff this Wednesday.
Did Hoarders High join the Burke fam?
He did.
Fire!
He joined,
yes.
I want to say he joined Friday, and I just haven't seen it yet. But I just checked because someone in the Burke fam just upgraded their membership. So.
You know who hasn't joined the Burke fam, Steve? He's so slow. But break down a little bit what happened. I didn't read Venom, so go ahead and since that goes with King in Black, go ahead and give it. Did you read Venom, Steve?
Oh yeah, I read Venom 34 first, and then I read King of Black number 5.
Well, fill us in, y'all. Can you fill us in on that? Because I didn't read Venom.
Go ahead, Steve.
So Venom really dealt with more of like what Eddie's mind was doing while he was supposed to be dead, and how he was in like the hive. And it had Flash Thompson in there. It had Rex, and Noel, obviously. And it was weird. Yeah, Adrian Pandawson 316 just upgraded his membership to a family member sub. So
you know what's weird is I assumed he was a family member.
Yeah,
like I know he's like a member of your family, but I thought he was a member of your like YouTube family as well.
Oh yeah, he's my bro. Like
he's like OG Burke fam. Like before there was a join button.
Like Ryan's OG. Like I've been hanging out with Ryan for like 2 years now. So yeah, man, I just added you to the chat and I'll update the graphic and get you added to and Panda added as well to all the links and added to the description of my video. So you guys are awesome. Appreciate that.
I've said it countless times, but you have the most enjoyable collective of people out there in the comic community.
Yeah.
Again, I just point out like countless people in the chat right now are a part of it, and we're all just able to hang out and talk all day long. Just whenever you get a moment, you just feel like talking with any of these guys that are always hanging out talking. They're just up there, and I'm glad you're pointing at that because we've also been waiting impatiently for Dale to join. That's another person who's just always talking.
Dale is one of my closest friends outside of the Burke fam, I'd say for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely within a top 5, no doubt.
Do you know how many members you have?
I do.
31. I'm going to guess 31.
It's
34. Oh, I bet because of Venom.
27.
27?
It should really be 28.
Dude.
One person can't figure out how to update theirs. But
In all fairness, as soon as Jason's join button popped up, I spent forever trying to get it to allow me to join, and I couldn't. I had to go through 3 different devices and reboot one before it let me join this. So I know that sometimes there's just issues with it.
yeah, I don't know. The Berkshire is definitely the most active one I'm in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the comic vet's awesome. That's what's up.
Thank you very much.
What did you think of 34?
I thought it was an interesting segue, and you know, that the battle, and you know, for him to realize that he's died essentially twice, you know, and you know, like Dale just mentioned, it's the story about him heading towards the light and getting out of hell where he kind of deserved to be. So the whole picking up the hammer thing, you know, but that's in the end, I thought that the end of King in Black was a good fit, so a good story fit for what it was. The only thing I didn't like is that Super Venom, like, is that what we want to call him, or Venom of the Light? You know, with that, as cool as what that battle axe was, the combo of Mjolnir and Surfer's board. I don't like the fact that Null is as dead as what dead could be. Maybe not Captain Marvel dead, but being put into the sun, and that's it. Like, but yeah,
he's not dead.
Right, you know, because if you want to talk spec, still his first appearance is still a big book. But
right.
I didn't like the fact that I guess it's what the story needed, that cataclysm. What's the proper word to finish it off? Where Null is dead as dead could be, being put into the sun, and then of course, Donnie came out afterwards and said on social media that no, he's not dead, but you know.
I
Maybe
believe
that's just his ticket back into Marvel.
In regards to this, I believe it is the Captain Universe aspect that would made it possible to wield Mjolnir. I don't think it actually had to do with Eddie. Clearly, it really shouldn't have anything to do with Eddie. But anyways, overall, like I said, I did have fun reading it. It was just those blaring plot holes. I had more fun reading it than there was problems with the book. That's for sure. I don't want to harp too much on the problems of it or anything. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. They did do a good job tying everything up. They didn't leave any loose ends out of this. You know, they rushed through and killed Noel, depowered Dylan, told Eddie he's the King of Black, and he flew off to Tirnanog with his dragon wings or whatever it was.
I would like to know for sure whether or not Dylan is actually depowered.
There's no way. I don't think.
You don't think he is? You don't think he is powered anymore, or you think there's no way that he's not powered?
There's no way he's not. No,
he still has powers.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being this generation's Franklin Richards. To be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I feel like we might get something on that in Venom 200. Hopefully.
I mean, you can really only go one way. You can add powers. You can't really take them away unless you're trying to tell a tragic story. And right. Dylan's not old enough to like have the tragedy of losing powers at this point, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure something will happen.
In a small way, there wasn't a Goddess Wonder Woman there. If you're talking about death metal, and I think that Thor managed to stay out of this because of COVID delays and scheduling King of Black. I think if COVID didn't happen, you might have seen more tightly knit Thor timelining in there.
Yeah, I pretty much felt like that. Like at the end of issue 6 of Thor, I was like, yeah, it feels like this was supposed to line up with King in Black a lot more. And I bet like the COVID postponement and stuff probably messed up the schedule on Thor. And so when King in Black started, timing was all off, you know?
Yeah. Let's move on. Ryan, what did you read?
Matt, let me talk about Origins. Origins number 6 came out. It's amazing. I'm sure they're going to collect this in trade. It's a 6-issue Boom series. It's in like a post-apocalyptic world. where this man has created this man created technology. He created like robots and stuff, and then he learned to create like artificial intelligence, and then he learned how to create nanobots. And the nanobots strangled the life out of everything on the planet. And so all of everything dies. And so that's where the book starts, is for so long there's been nothing but just like technology. All the life was dead. And so technology, they ran out of a mission. They didn't have a mission anymore. So they recreated the guy that created the technology, is like to find out what their next like goal should be. And so that's kind of what the book follows, is this like man being like coming back to life, you know, and having to learn about all the things that he did in the past and stuff, and how it led to the fall of humanity. Like all of his technology went wrong. So Origins was awesome. Number 6 was an excellent wrap up. Like it ended the story perfectly, put a great little bow on it. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm sure they're going to put a trade out for it, and it'll be a really cool trade read. Has really cool artwork, great storytelling, very cool book overall.
Now this one hit you on a whole emotional level at the end, didn't it?
Oh yeah, because it comes full circle, you know. So at the end, you know, there's things that they've been building toward this whole time, and then you kind of like see how we're caught in this cycle, you know. And it's really interesting read. The end is really cool.
Yeah, that's one that I started, and then I like didn't feel like I could add anything to my pool at the time, and saw it was only 6 issues, so I backed off. So I'll definitely go back and read it.
Yeah.
All right,
cool
Steve.
Book.
Okay. I thought it was a fantastic read.
Kind of was.
I would. It makes sense more about the Luke and Tim stuff.
Mhm.
I don't really still understand the whole like Jace thing, but I mean, as a teacher, I have kids all the time that tell me they like. I have a kid. His first name is completely different than the name that he wants to go by. Like it's not a middle name; it's just another name, and it's a boy name. And he's a boy regardless. But anyways, off topic. Anyways, I thought the story was great. I'm assuming that's Batwing, right? It has to be, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Batwing will go away in this story, and then we'll get the origin of the next Batman.
Did you notice how they were drawing Batwing's helmet was more kind of reminiscent? Like he's always had like that, his helmet or whatever, but his helmet looks very reminiscent of Jace's helmet, like with the closed-in mask and
think
the
they're doing
way
that
it's
on
framed
purpose.
around it.
If you
Yeah, I
think
think he's going to
that's
steal his
correct.
brother's. I think he's going to end up stealing his brother's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
So I
there's-
thought it was really cool how they have Jace already kind of like doing his own kind of trying to superhero by the means that he has, and we kind of see that he's had in a future state he had the person in his ear like his own oracle, and we see that he's already working with her from the start of this, and he gets called home for a deposition about the family coming into the money. They're all wanting to be questioned about getting the Wayne fortune, and so they're still kind of hanging this mystery over why Jace left, what he did that was so bad that kind of left a bad taste in everyone's mouth about their family name and everything. So they're kind of leaving that mystery there, which I think is pretty cool. And we're seeing the clear overlap with Future State, because in Future State you see him come home in that flashback or whatever. We know Batman 100 or Future State something where he comes home and he has that same conversation with his brother, and then his sister falls out and she's in the hospital still in Future State. So again, we're getting some like really smooth overlapping with the Future State stuff. And it was for what it's supposed to be. This was a really, really good first issue. Like they did great building the family dynamics. You can feel the tension in the air between them. And Grifter, dude, I'm just really, really enjoying Grifter, big or small, and whatever he's in. He is just so fun to have around. He just doesn't fit in any situation that he's getting put in, and it just works perfectly for that character.
and they're definitely. I mean, it feels like they're building like seeds. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Future State was a tease to see how people liked the next Batman, and they knew right away they had a gold mine. They're like, okay, now let's do a 4-issue series about his origin, and then I think following this we will get an ongoing series. That's what I think.
I really hope that they stick with the miniseries format. Like, give us 4 issues, let it sit, have them pop up in other stuff, and Give
Sure.
us maybe 4 issues more. I hope, because we're seeing like with what is it? Crime Syndicate's a miniseries. Swamp Thing is a limited series. The next Batman's a limited series. I hope that they continue that. Just give us spurts. That way
Well,
they can like experiment with who's like hitting and who's missing more.
And it seems like, they're definitely building the stuff, the origins. Obviously, we haven't even talked about it. The origins of the magistrate. We get that a lot in this book as well, and I think that's really interesting. And it almost seems like they're like building to. I mean, the magistrate was like the big thing in Future State, but it feels like they're going to do another possibly big event with the magistrate. I don't know, but it feels like
it's going to have to be a crossover.
it seems like there's going to be definitely something going forward with more the Dark Detective and the next Batman.
Well, let's
magistrate.
Let's bleed right into that. Let's segue straight into. Did you read Next Batman, Chris?
Yeah.
What?
No, Next Batman? No.
Yeah, Next Batman.
No.
All right. Well, bleed because it really does have a lot of bleed over with 107 because we're still seeing Simon Saint building his Empire Scarecrow messing around. What did y'all think of 107? Just the Batman part. We'll get to the back of the story after.
6 out of 10. 6 or 7 out of 10.
I would probably go 7.5. I thought this was one of JT's better offerings for the franchise since he's been a part of it. I liked if we're going to just talk about the Batman part itself versus the whole Harley scene and
no. I mean just not the Ghostmaker story and not the secondary.
Oh, okay. I thought it was again beautifully crafted. Jorge Jimenez is just a master.
He's amazing. He's the best artist for DC.
And I thought it was really good. The whole scene on the motorcycle where she clips the guy with a baseball bat going by has a guy who rides a motorcycle. Let me tell you, that is impossible to do. But anyways, that was the only part that I kind of like turned my nose up on it. And that's just because I'm being a little snobby or whatever. I like the fact that Harley is all in on being Batman's sidekick. So much so that she's bragging about it to everyone, including the police, and then thinking that somehow she can continue to rough handle the cops and it be somehow okay. When Ghostmaker showed up to rescue Harley or whatever, I'm just not a fan.
Weak.
But my one question is, who is this young lady? Has she officially been?
That was an official cameo of a character that you're going to see come later.
Okay,
And,
I thought maybe
again,
there was something I missed from
kind of
20 issues before.
So many
something.
seeds in Batman 100 because they gave us that Queen Ivy tease, and this guy's talking about how he's seen like the green growing under the ground and whatever. They were big time teasing Ivy, and I think that this woman is going to be connected with whatever they're going to be doing with Ivy in the future.
The interaction with Batman and Barbara was an interesting segue, and the whole Saint stuff I'm intrigued by, and I like the fact that we're getting Molly next. I wasn't too sure. If you don't want to talk about the backup story, that's fine because that's exactly where I was just going to go. Like I don't know how necessary it was, how it started off with the scene that it did, but yeah, for me, this was better than 106. Definitely better than 105. But I can understand Steve mentioning that he felt it was a 6 and then kind of upped it a little bit. But yeah, it seems that with Batman lately, it's just you're either loving it or hating it. But at least with you guys who I chat with on the reg about this, we all seem to be in the same place. That's been disappointing, seeing what Tynan's been producing in other places versus what this is. And it seemed like he was really busy with the last few issues. But this one, it seems to be, I thought, much better.
I want to say something before Mark does, because I know.
Go ahead, jump in there.
I know Mark's got some positive things to say about it. And
I'm going to tear it down too. Don't worry.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. And I talked to Ryan about this. Like this book in the last couple, like it seems like our lower tiered, not very good writing, compared to what he has written. They are still light years better, in my opinion, in the last 35 issues of Tom King's run.
Oh God, he's really campaigning to take
because
that trophy from Tom King.
There was 6 issues in a row where and there was certain books that like one book ended and the next book started and they did not connect whatsoever. That's a whole other point. But if we're talking about on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best Batman story ever with a ton of action, this is not it.
No.
If you're
No,
talking
no.
about a book where there's a lot of Batman in it, with him learning stuff, all that stuff, this book isn't necessarily that. This book does build on the previous book. It does give you more about how powerful or how good the Scarecrow is and how it can be a formidable villain. I feel like this book in the last couple are all like, okay, we're gonna do a couple issues just on the Scarecrow to show the people who are like, Scarecrow is nothing to Batman. We're gonna show how good he can be to see he's a formidable villain for Batman. So it's not the greatest issue, but it seems like, obviously, like I've said before in the last issue or two, it's just building. It's more world building, and we're getting, obviously, we got a cameo of a new character as well. And next issue we get Miracle Molly. It feels very much like the first couple of issues of his run. We're bringing in all these brand new characters, building a lot of stuff before it's coming together at the end of, what was it, the Joker War and all that stuff. So that's how I feel. That's why I give it a 6 or a 7. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't Tom King horrible.
I'm going to tell you what Ryan is going to tell everyone next week after he's read it and gives us a review. So I'm going to go ahead and say it for him. He's doing the same thing every issue since Infinite Frontier, where he's not telling a story. He's laying the groundwork for a story he's going to tell. And somehow in each issue, he keeps finding more and more groundwork to start a new story thread. So we're already like multiple events happening and nothing really moving forward. But I kind of caught the formatting that I think he's going for. This is going to be one of those things where we're looking back at it. I think in an issue or two, there's going to be like major plot that just gets slammed together and it all kind of makes sense because it clicked about 4 pages in on this. Wait a minute, I'm reading a flashback. Everything that we're reading is a flashback because it starts out with the Gimp Bruce Wayne from Pulp Fiction there in the chair getting tortured by Scarecrow. So the whole thing that we're watching is how it got to the Gimp part. How did he get gimped by the Scarecrow? So that just kind of clicked in. So I guess that kind of makes the bouncing around kind of a little bit more understandable and a little bit less at the same time. Because if I'm flashbacking Batman, how are we crossing through all these other characters and what they were doing at the same time as well? But I did enjoy getting to get down and dirty with Batman actually doing detective work. And that was cool. And they talked about it last Friday night, how Scarecrow is not using fear toxins. He's just using like physical manipulation of items and just really pushing off the city's like inherent fear for their lives after the events of A-Day and the Joker War. He's just seeing what he can do, pushing just slightly here and there. I thought that was really cool. The Unsanity Collective is stupid. I don't think it even needs to exist. It's just an extra element inside of a book that's already too busy. But hey, Tynan wants to deliver Miracle Molly. Why? Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it'll be anything that pans out. But the Simon Saint aspect with the magistrate, I'm super interested in because now they gave us a couple of nods how he's already eyeballing Mahoney's body in the hospital as his you're going to be honoring the guard they said they're going to be honoring the guard that he's been eyeing up, Sean Mahoney. So we already know that he's got plans to create Peacekeeper #1. And it's really cool that the Scarecrow is really in his head driving the whole magistrate thing. Because I think that adds an extra cool element to whatever the magistrate's going to become. The fact that an actual Batman rogue has his hand deeply embedded in it. And then, but what really threw me off is when at the end, you have Bruce Wayne dress up as Jim Gordon and enter the grid in Tron Legacy all of a sudden. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, what do they call him? What is his name? Match?
Match. But that goes back to, I think that's a callback to when Bruce went undercover in a jail and he gave himself the nickname Match. That just clicked. Didn't that happen in like previous Batman lore? Like, Steve, are you able to Google that real quick?
What is it?
Match. Just Bruce Wayne Match undercover.
Bruce
But
Wayne
just-
on Match.
Bruce Wayne or Jim Gordon?
No, that's not Jim Gordon because Jim.
Oh,
Gordon's
you're not gonna
off,
like these results.
Jim Gordon's off doing the Joker stuff. That had to be Bruce Wayne undercover, right?
Matches Malone.
That's him.
Matches Malone was the name of a criminal and a common guise adopted by Batman to infiltrate the Gotham's criminal underworld.
See, I didn't remember that
First
when I was
appearance,
reading it.
Batman 242.
Yeah. See, I didn't remember
Ooh.
that when I first read it. I was just too taken back by he's going looking for Jeff Bridges in the grid in Tron or something. I didn't know how they're all of a sudden just going to push the envelope of the design like that. But he is going down there to meet up with the Unsanity Collective, and that's more their style. So I thought that was cool.
Okay, so can we talk about this scene and how unnecessary it actually is? Like, I know that Tynan is a proud gay man, and I have no issue with that whatsoever. But do we really need to see a bisexual threesome scene where Ghostmaker's pulling his underwear up over himself to lead into the entry of the backstory? They should have thrown like a mature reader thing there. I'm just thinking if I would have bought
Does
this
it help
book
explain the parachute pants?
Yeah.
Well, and they keep showing him like without like anything over his eyes, and then sometimes he does have stuff over his eyes. Like,
Dude, that was just a huge now that was a blaring inconsistency in the last issue when he's just combo from Killer Instinct in the garage, chugging energy drinks, beating a punching bag
with nothing over his eyes,
with nothing over his eyes.
and then in that he has something over his eyes. I don't understand it at all, but I thought it was an interesting story.
So now we're back
Seemed to be
the
some
design.
first appearances there.
When I read the first page or two, I was like, I'm about to stop reading this. But then I read more, and I was like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
I'll tell you what was bad was the lettering for his AI.
Yes, it was so hard to make out what was being said.
So I thought it was cool just to try to they're giving us a story just to flex his skill set, but I think that for me that is stupid at this point because you've already flexed his skill set just to destroy him under like with the whole Batman thing. They built him up and chopped him down simultaneously when they were introducing him. So Ghostmaker is already a complete no-go for me. I know there's going to be people out there that like his character. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll have some cool stuff for you guys at the 700 subscriber giveaway. But so like and subscribe, share the content. Yeah, I've got some Ghostmaker first appearance stuff to give away for that.
But I just don't know if that's DC just want to celebrate a new villain anti-hero, just saying that look, we have ourselves this character that's leading this kind of lifestyle or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And I mentioned this before, that's where their feud comes from, is that Bruce hit it and quit it and Ghostmaker never forgave him.
It's the sexual tension in the air.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing that explains that weird scene where they're like punching each other outside with like no shirt and stuff.
Outside
of
his
like, man, this
apartment,
scene is random, but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all
Total
just came
location of
together
that
like
battle.
butt cheeks,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Totally confused.
yeah.
So I thought it was kind of weird too, like just the random villains that she hired to fight him, just all of a sudden it felt like a weird mixture of like Johnny Quest and Space Ghost villains. Like all of a sudden, just in his little ghost stream or whatever he called it, looked like something out of Johnny Quest. It looked like he just straight up ripped off Hanna-Barbera, which isn't cool.
Yeah.
But
The way y'all describe this book, it sounds like hot garbage.
No.
The Batman part was
Batman stuff. I thought Harley stuff was fantastic. I thought she was.
You know who was noticeably absent in like the last book or two, actually?
Nightwing.
Oracle?
the Joker.
Clown Hunter.
Oh,
yeah,
Well, because he's at the academy, isn't he?
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Back away.
is he? Is he? Is he at the
Yeah.
academy?
I'll tell you who's about to be at the academy. Segue.
Yes.
The Suicide Squad are on their way, and these people leave a trail of bodies.
I told you. How right was I on Friday?
My God, it was so good.
Is that the dude from the Talon New 52 series?
That is Talon. Steve, you should be reading this, dude. The interior art on this is outrageously good too. Like, oh my god, it's so good. Hold on, look at this. Look at that.
Wow.
Yes.
When y'all said Jorge Jimenez is like the best guy at DC, I just kind of cringed. I'm like, y'all aren't reading Suicide Squad.
I said I was the one who said that. That
I
was
said he was on the top of his game.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's Peacemaker laying
punch,
the
man.
haymaker on
wait,
Con
wait,
El.
wait. Is that someone's ear in his face?
Bro, that is the imprint from the fist hitting his cheek so hard.
Oh.
Yep.
Just mushed him.
Is that
Becoming
Superboy?
Peacemaker when
That
you get the
is
role.
Superboy.
Superboy's in a Suicide Squad?
Dude,
Yes.
he is a pawn. He is not there willingly. It is so good, dude.
Yes.
Brian, take it away, man. Let's go ahead and bust this one down.
Oh man, like I just love the way that I don't know. I mean, we know the Suicide Squad's all about like, killing off these characters in like dramatic ways and stuff. But this book like really delivers on that. Like it brought in a superstar team and just mopped the floor with them, And like it feels like every book cuz like, like he said, like they at the end of this one they tease that next is Teen Titans Academy. So like they're gonna come in there and they're gonna have like an all-star team and they are just gonna like wipe and you get one more new member on the team or something, like I really like the way they build it because like you know that nobody's safe, anybody can die. And I mean this book was really cool. Batman wasn't the worst thing ever in it. He was just like, I gotta find these people and like trying to find people. It was weird that we kept cutting to him, but I guess we needed to know that he was coming. But getting Talon, that was great. I love the little whoo.
It was awesome.
Like I don't know. It's a really fun book. Like it's just so fun. The art is cool. It really delivers the action of everything, and so it makes it a lot of fun to read. All the characters are great. Peacemaker is awesome. Like this is the John
Yes.
Cena character. I am like
Yes.
legit excited at this point for this
So
character to
in.
be something because he is great in this book. I love it.
And this is another book that's really working well inside of the new continuity of DC. Like, I am impressed with the planning that has gone in from DC and the continuity game right now. Because, like we mentioned earlier, with the next Batman was smoothly sailing over exact conversations, but redrawn, but the dialogue is the same. And this one takes place during A-Day. So this is the third book that we're getting with A-Day stuff. And we're getting all of like the same events happening from different people's perspectives because there was a lot more happening in that asylum than just the gas going off and Sean saving those nurses and Batman getting there. But it was cool seeing Batman. I think that's why they threw Batman in there because as a reader of that book, Batman showed up. But as a reader of this book, you're expecting him to show up. So they have to show us him show up, which I thought was cool. Thought was really cool. And, oh yeah, I did want to point out. Did y'all catch that subtle dialogue that Batman said to Montoya when he's like, "You got to ask yourself the right questions" in Batman 107 when she came into the mayor's house and found Batman in there, and because Montoya was the question, I love that. Like I would love to see her go back to being the question, but I'm a Vic Sage guy, but just having a question around is cool. But anyways, yeah, this smoothly written. Peacemaker is fantastic. Like he is clearly the best part of this book. Connor is awesome. He's not there willingly. How does she control him? She has a bomb in his neck, but it puts kryptonite into his veins instead of an explosive. And they're all Superboy gets caught in as a contingency because the first team wasn't quite going to make it out of there alive. So he gets in there and he's wanting to save everybody. Like we can save the rest of these people. So she pops him. She pops him without even hesitating, and that's how Peacemaker was able to deck him at the end because Peacemaker isn't afraid of anybody. He's getting in his face, telling him we were there just to get talent, not to keep people alive. That's not our job, and blah blah blah. And he's like, let me remind you, you have kryptonite flowing through your veins, and he just decks him. Like and that's how pretty much the book ended. It was like, my God,
Wow.
it was insane.
It's so cool though because like they really like I don't know, to me it really expresses John's like Boy Scoutness, like all he wants to do, he wants to save everybody, and Peacemaker's like, nah dude, like we have a mission, everybody is expendable, for the goal, for the greater good, we have to accomplish this mission and everybody else is expendable. And I'm the leader, so we're gonna do it my way. And the Boy Scouts like not really into it. He's like, no, we gotta like save everybody while we do it,
Total different dynamic. You definitely should read it, Steve. I think you would
Kind
love
of reminds me
I think
of
you
like
would
how
love
we're
it.
getting like
Couple
Cap
months.
and John Walker and all that
That was
stuff
number
right
2.
now, you know.
Okay.
I'm sure you would love it, man, because it's well written. It's fast paced.
Who is the writer?
Dude, this is Thompson, the guy who was on Future State something. I think he was on Suicide Squad Future State, but this is light years better than that.
Yeah. Like
Light
I thought Suicide Squad Future State was okay, but this
Look at
book,
this.
like you know how I feel about Swamp Thing. Like
Nice.
Swamp Thing, my boy, you know. But even this book, like I don't know, I think Suicide Squad 2 might have been better than Swamp Thing number 2. Like I really enjoyed this read. It's like well
it's
paced
Robbie
for like
Thompson.
high action. The artwork like delivers that motion and just like keeps everything moving, and just like the energy of it. Like there's some serious like intrigue to like how they're comparing and contrasting the personalities, but it's also just like a lot of fun, you know?
Oh yeah. I don't know what that means, Joe. You're going over my head here. This guy's ridiculously smart. It's aggravating. Well, segue, Ryan.
Boom, Swamp Thing. Man, how good is this?
This was my read of the week.
I don't know. This and Suicide Squad.
Well, no,
This
I
is
think
up
Seven
tie.
Secrets would be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you talked a lot about Seven Secrets.
This was my DC. This was my DC read of the week.
There we go. It's weird. Like people keep talking about that book, and they're like, you know, it's just like so dense and stuff. Like I don't know. I feel like I fell right into it. Like it totally makes sense to me. He is becoming an idea, you know, something greater than himself. But two ideas can't exist, you know. But also an idea can never die, and that's really interesting because it means he can just be like tortured forever, you know. Like he's immortal. I mean, he lives forever, you know. The green is what it is, and then to see him like come back and be able to hold his own, you know, and
Then some.
yeah, right. And I love the way that he kept, you know, Ron V kept describing the eyes as like nuggets of gold, and like, good lord, did they look like nuggets of gold in that imagery? Like, I thought it was so good the way that they matched a lot of the imagery and stuff, the way he describes turning into the tree and all that, and then the way it looks on that like big far shot. I really like the way it all comes together as a story. It's just very immersive, you know. It reminds me a lot of like the Alan Moore stuff where you can just kind of get lost and forget where you're at, you know.
Chris.
I thought it was thoroughly a great page turner. I thought it was good all the way through. I especially love the end when the trees showed up and that the whole world had to stop for a moment and realize what was happening out in the middle of the American or the southwestern American desert. And it even caught the attention of the Bats. So I'm kind of wondering, are we going to see Batman pop up in another story? Like, are we going to have issue 3 where Batman shows up to, you know, do a little bit of detective work? Like, how in the world do we have this monstrous, beautiful tree in the middle of nowhere? But yeah, I thought it was, I can't really add more. Like Ryan did a perfect description of the book. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I've said this, like Rami Salami just said that Ron V is so smart. And he said he did lots and lots of research, so it shows in his writing. So I haven't heard him say that, but we've talked about how it is apparent in his writing. Like for the 2-issue story he did for Future State, he had to take an anatomy class to write that story. There's no way he didn't spend hours in an anatomy book before he wrote that story. And it just transfers over to this too for the topics in this, like with all the biology stuff he was talking about in issue 1 with the decay of corpses and stuff. It just, he's doing the due diligence to write a book in the tone and style that you would want from a Swamp Thing book if Alan Moore Swamp Thing really defines that character for you. This is exactly what Swamp Thing's supposed to feel like. And the whole tree thing, I thought it was really subtle, but it was really important for a Swamp Thing book. How, like you just said, the whole world had to stop, because that's the level that Swamp Thing plays on. You know, it's literally a whole world character.
Yeah.
You know, that was really subtle, but just to bring it to that level real quick, just for that brief moment. And I think that I hope that they just leave that Batman just to that panel, just the fact that this was so important that, you know, it caught the attention of these people. Now let's move on, you know.
Yep.
And just,
Yeah, because otherwise he gets around, man. He was in Suicide Squad. He's in Swamp Thing. He's in his
We
own
learned
book.
we
He's
learned from
dealing with the
Ghost
magistrate
Maker that
that's
he gets
in.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like it's crazy how many books Batman is showing up
Boom!
in.
And Matina absolutely crushed that cover for Swamp Thing number
Yep.
2. But I did hear that Matina is not doing the entire 10 issues. So I did not buy any of the Matina ones because I want stuff to match. I need stuff to match, and so with it cover A's they will always match. So I'm not necessarily going for the cooler cover, which I think this cover is fantastic.
What about that last page though?
What was the last page?
The note on the desk.
The ad for Batman Detective.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Holland phenomenon. That was awesome.
Yeah. What is that? What is that seeding?
I don't know. Someone's looking for him, I guess, or someone knows he's present.
Well, they know that somebody knows that there's the Swamp Thing, that the I guess like the subconscious. It
I
seems
mean,
like
it's the Sutherland Corporation that has the
yeah,
file mergers and acquisitions from the Sutherland Corporation. It has the picture of what's the kid's name? Levi or something?
yeah. Levi, I forget his last name.
Yeah, so it's got a picture of Levi and his little girlfriend, and
Kume.
then it has the Holland phenomenon. So clearly he already knows who is the
He
keeper
knows
of
there's
this.
a new Swamp Thing, and he knows who it is. Who did Ramvi? I listened to Ramvi on Off Panel this last week, and he's of course awesome, But talking about Swamp Thing, somebody said something about him. Apparently, he used to work in like gas and oil or something, and so he traveled all over India, like looking at checking, inspecting wells and stuff. And so he had to go out into the swamplands of India to check on these like fuel lines and stuff. And so he was saying like somebody said something about him, like you're gonna write a character from the swamp, but you're from India. And he's like, India has like one of the largest wetlands on the entire planet. Like
Well, he
we know
also just
swamp.
introduced this villain character who is a crude oil chugging
Mm-hmm.
desert dweller. He just found a way to incorporate what he knows into Swamp Thing as well. So the dude is a
Yeah,
fantastic writer.
yeah.
But
The way he like
speaking
brings
about him,
everything in, it's crazy.
continuing with the smooth segues, in the back of Seven Secrets, Boom is good about giving you previews for upcoming books, but Lila Star, The Many Deaths of Lila Star is the new book coming out by Ram V, which you have like the Indian pantheon of gods, and it looks like Death herself with all 6 arms gets called up to the top floor where like the three-faced god essentially just fires her from her job. And that's how the preview ends. So he's got a new book coming out from Boom Studios called The Many Deaths of Lila Star. So I'm probably going to possibly maybe check that out.
Yeah, it looks really cool. He talked about that a bit too. It's really interesting. He says it's one of the longest stories he's developed.
The Lila Star book?
Yeah. Yeah, he said that it's one of his very early story ideas, but he's just been like developing it, and so as he's gotten better at writing and more known for it and stuff, it's something he's always been developing in the background. So I guess like kind of a passion project for him.
Has anyone read Chasing the Dragon? Issue 2 just dropped.
Nope.
What publisher is that out of? I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one.
We do. We do. I think a lot of the one shots are going to be obviously they're crossing over into the main titles. I'm not for certain, but I'm pretty sure there's another big event coming. Obviously, of all this stuff that they're doing.
We got a lot of people in the chat excited about the potential for that one.
Yeah. I was also watching Comics Will Break Your Heart this morning, and she got an advanced copy of it, and she's really stoked for it.
Very nice.
Hey, I'm going to step out. I got to go do some work for the channel and get ready for work tomorrow. So I
Well, I appreciate
apologize.
you hopping on.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me, and I'll see you guys later. Everyone have
All
a
right,
good
man.
night.
See you, man.
You have a good night.
You too.
Take care, man.
Chris.
The Immortal Hulk.
I know Ryan's not reading this. He doesn't want
No,
to
I
get caught
haven't
up
read
in
that one.
another amazing story right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I have number 1, like the 3rd printing or something.
It went that deep? 3 printings?
I think it
Oh
went
yeah,
deeper than that.
Immortal Hulk. Yeah, there was like 5 printings of that first
Mhm.
issue.
All Alex Ross or
No.
okay.
They do like a Ross, a Bennett, a cover of the month. Like I think you got Ross, Bennett, cover of the month, and then they start doing like spoilers and multiple printings after that. They do a lot for this series, but I always have to watch out for when they do like a secondary Ross cover, like they did with 15 for some reason and issue 20.
Like can we just agree that like Al
I can
Ewing
agree
is
with that.
representing the leader beautifully? That the
Yes.
like showing how sinister the leader should be and
Yeah, we've
is
seen him
like
like never before.
like putting like keeping the Hulk in hell altogether. But like yeah, it's almost sad that we're only 5 issues away from the end. I believe. Did you not
Yeah.
say it's done
Yeah.
at 50?
Now,
But
I
yeah,
haven't really
like
looked back into that, but that's still the working
again, like
thought I
this
have.
is just fantastic stuff. But yeah, I'm the whole Joe Fixit storyline as well. I'm just into it, man. It's good.
It's
You know,
wicked
I
how deep this has gone at this point. Now, I've heard people say that they don't understand it. It's all over the place, but I really don't feel like it is because you really have like only a couple of things going on, even though they're so large in scale. Like you have the leader who's just kind of embedded and integrated himself into he finally found how the Hulk ticks. He finally found how it all works with it being connected to the place below all, the whole green door thing, why the gamma people cannot die, how they have to be tethered to like a subconscious in a way. And he's become that subconscious where he's pretty much manipulating everything in the place below all, which is amazing. He became the ultimate puppet master for all things gamma powered at this point. You have Henry Gyrich that sent the UFOs out that are still just on a classic chase down and kill the Hulk routine, and they don't realize what they're really into right now because they have no clue about all the real stuff going on that he's trying to deal with. So you have the UFOs over a decrepit dead body Hulk just waiting for him to take his final breath, pretty much, while the Hulk is in numerous places at once. His different split personalities are just all over the place, all of them completely conquered by the leader. And then you have his whole crew trying to just make any sense of anything at this point, trying just to regroup from where they've been spread out. And it hit this really cool point where he's done something. They kind of addressed it a few issues back, but the leader manipulated the green door. He like the green door is basically a green light to come back from the dead. Well, he turned it into a red light, basically. He turned it into a red door where you cannot come back through. But he didn't. I guess we'll dive into that more in 46. I don't know if he accounted for the fact that there's been a red Hulk. So what we end up with at the end of this is Hulk has been completely in the most weakened state he's ever been in before.
Yeah.
At the end of this, dude just woke up. He's standing or he's laying on the ground by people that are absorbing gamma and making it toxic. Well, what was the Red Hulk's whole thing?
That's right.
So
and like when he speaks, he actually speaks in his own logo. So that was the best part.
Yeah.
They're driving home the point of how upset the Red Hulk is that when he speaks, it's his own logo.
It was just really cool. But he wakes up and he's a different tint of green with red veins. So this is I mean, if you want to play
back
key
up a page or
collector,
two there and just show them what I'm talking about, where he speaks to himself as in the third person. And see, it's his own logo. Like we're driving home a point now, baby.
And it's green and it's blocked out with red outline too.
Right.
Yeah, so that is absolutely fantastic. So he's back, and he's back like never before.
Yeah.
So if we want to play key collector right now, where everything is a key book, this is the first appearance of this Hulk.
Man, you heard it here first, folks. Legion of Comics. We're calling out a new Hulk. We're calling out the Christmas Hulk. red and
Christmas
green.
Well,
Christmas Hulk.
I don't know how much you know about the Legion of Comics logo itself, Chris, but
I know all about it.
I
Yeah.
feel like they're paying homage to the Legion of Comics logo is what's happening.
They probably are.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
All right. For those
can't
that,
think of
that
anything
for
that makes
those in
more
the know,
sense.
know. For those who don't know, that's not like the flag of Turkey or representative of Turkey over there. That's homage. That's a quiet homage to the Incredible Hulk
Yeah.
in his various colors.
So, and at this point, they've you got the shaman dude, who's identified that Rick Jones is stuck in the physical body of the leader, that the leader's abandoned for the one below all. He's taken over that form pretty much, and so Rick Jones is kind of stuck in that body like mindlessly. So we're obviously the shaman dude's about to separate him. He's talked about how he has that ability possibly to do it. So obviously that's going to happen, which also gives us the answer to Leonard getting out of the Sasquatch body, because with people coming back from the dead through the green door, the leader manipulated it where people did not end up into their normal forms pretty much. But it has been absolutely fun. It's another one of those where I can easily understand where a lot of people would be lost or confused or over the place with it, but I've absolutely have loved it. Krampus Hulk, that's it. It's Krampus Hulk right there.
That's
So
pretty good.
I think they're doing a really good job, really building up to something that they haven't ever done before. They're taking it to a place that they haven't ever been before. Al Ewing is just really re-sparked so much more interest in the Hulk across the board for people, and for me, just being a lifelong Hulk guy, it's just really fun seeing him done in a different way. That's just very exciting. It's not just the same old, same old. And I think it's cool how they keep that same old plot thread going. For a while it was with Gamma Flight chasing him down. For a while it was with what was it, General 17 or whatever his name was, and now it's with the UFOs. It's got that classic element, and they don't know how out of their league they are. Like, even if the Hulk's not there, if you run into what's really stopping the Hulk from being there, like, it's monstrosities like you've never seen before. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
What is going on, Dan Eckery, another member of the Burke family?
Yeah, it's for me quietly just a very good monthly that every page just like what's next, and again, like I mentioned earlier, I'm loving the fact that Al Ewing is making the leader as sinister as humanly possible, and to me, like, it's the leader and the Hulk are like Spider-Man, the Green Goblin, Batman, the Joker. They're just all, when you think of the hero and the villain, for me, when I think of the Incredible Hulk, I always think of the leader. So I'm glad that they're exposing him to be bigger and bigger than what he actually has been portrayed lately. Now Ewing's doing a very good job.
He is. All right. I've got 3 books left that I read. See if we can hit one. I'm going to go ahead and burn through 7 Secrets real quick. Because I know neither one of y'all read this, and both of y'all, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. At this point, I've said this is fantastic enough that shame on both of you. This book is amazing. Like, it's Tom Taylor, so I gave it a try. Love Tom Taylor. Slow intro. It seemed like just kind of like a real worldly kind of secret societies battling it out for whatever's in the briefcase. Well, it hit issue 6 and it hit the fan. Because in issue 6, out of nowhere, they confirm Atlantis, they confirm Stargates, they confirm like pretty much rainbow bridges, like, and you don't know if it's from Asgard or what. They confirm like celestial-looking beings out in space. They pretty much confirmed that this character can fly, but he forgot that he had the ability to fly. In this issue, they confirm elves, they confirm King Arthur, all out of nowhere, and it all fits beautifully. This book should be on everyone's pull list. It is absolutely amazing. And that's all I want to say about it.
Shame.
So,
did you guys read this?
Like, I have no Tom Taylor experience. So, having started Nightwing, I think I'm just gonna like try to be kind of purist and not muddle my experience and see where that gets me.
You didn't read Deceased Dead Planet?
Oh yeah, I did read 2 issues of that.
Where Constantine just went completely ham at the end. Dude.
Come on. Yeah. Only 2?
Oh my God.
What's the one that ends with them like stepping through the portal to go to the house to get old dude. Was that the second one or the third
Talking
one?
about, I think that was the third one because Mr. Miracle was there. They were going through boom tubes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I
Mhm.
read the first three. Yeah, Swamp Thing and Constantine were awesome in that one.
Yeah, I do have the first 2 issues of Seven Secrets, and it wasn't my flavor. But when
How'd you get a copy
wait,
of the first one?
yeah, I think everyone got a copy of the first one. Like, there's many variants, but has the trade been released yet?
Yeah, I think there's one trade for it.
Okay, I'll pick up the trade.
I just remember
to
when
make,
it
to
came
make
out,
Mark
people
happy.
went nuts. I didn't think any. Well, I mean, eventually they made enough reprints, but
Right, that
Which
was
book?
Seven Secrets. That was the one that had some of those Miles homage variant covers, I believe,
I
when it
don't
first
know.
came out. Yeah, but
Everyone
yeah.
should be reading it. That's all. That's all there is to it. It
All
the
right.
book the book just takes off at issue 6. You for 5 issues you read
do I need
one.
to read the first 5 then?
Yes, 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 yes. For 5 issues you read this amazing character. Like it turns out, looking back on it, it's an amazing character necessity building. Like it is absolutely necessary for what comes next. But the whole genre just shifts hard. And dude, I don't know what it is about books shifting genres on me lately, but it's become my favorite thing.
Hey, I'm there for it. So that
Yeah,
sounds
I'm
cool.
waiting for that to happen in crossover.
yeah. Keep waiting. That's
Still
becoming
waiting.
just a variant by hit this book for Mike real quick, Chris.
All right. So my hot pick from Two Cool Guys, 2 hot picks last week was this. And I'm not going to say it just because Chip Zdarsky did it and we know what country he's from. I like the idea of a mini series. I like the idea of a mini series tying together or essentially being fragmented along together, even though each story is individually different. I like the idea that we're going to have the same constant artist all the way through it, and we're going to have different writers for each issue talk about the story that happens when people come across the silver coin, which is this gateway into hell. Let me tell you. So this particular issue is a band in the late 70s that's trying to get signed or whatever. It starts off with them doing this awesome concert, and the house lights go on, and there's no one there but the bartender at the corner of the room manning the bar. When the band's finished, they open the doors are still open, and all of a sudden people start flooding in after the band's done performing. That's how bad they are. Anyways, the guitarist comes across the silver coin, and things start to turn around. They come up with this incredible song, but slowly I shouldn't say slowly because the pacing of the book is actually pretty quick. Things go upside down and we have a personality change with the guitarist. They write this song. A record label approaches them saying, we're interested in signing you, and everyone gets all excited, and the guitarist kind of lips off, and then the record deal collapses because they say, disco isn't dead yet, and you guys are a little old with your sound. If you want to change your sound a little bit, we'll sign you today. Anyways, things kind of go downhill from there. He has a fight with his father, and next thing you know, the song that they eventually does get released independently becomes a big hit. They're performing in concert. All the people there are kind of like zombies staring at them, and that's the strength of the coin doing its evil work. And the guitarist's hand starts to bleed, his finger starts to fall apart, starts a fire. Everyone in the club dies. No one leaves the club. How it ends is someone holding up their hand with the coin, and we find a firefighter who gets drawn in by the mystique of the coin. Obviously, I'm not that good of a storyteller as what Ryan is, but this is our final scene: a dead hand
Oh, that's pretty cool.
holding up the coin and a firefighter picking it up. So again, that's just a quick once over of it. It may not sound as exciting as what it actually is. I recommend picking it up, at least for spec value alone. We all know Chip Zdarsky is a fantastic writer.
He really is. He doesn't miss. He was like the best thing about Batman Urban Legends So I'm excited for that next issue as well.
Yeah.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Stillwater. Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff. Even Howard the Duck.
Spider Shadow next week.
Yeah, baby. What if?
Mm-hmm.
So are you gonna stick on the silver coin moving forward?
I'm going to pick up the second issue. Like I said, I like the idea that every issue is going to be a different writer, but the artist is remaining the same all the way through.
Wait a minute. What if you get Zdarsky this issue and Bendis next issue, though?
See, that's what I was wondering. Like, how many people are going to stick with this? Like, obviously, Zdarsky is a great person to have on the first one. Everybody's going to pick that up because of the name alone, you know. But
Right.
who's writing the next one? Have they solicited that?
John Ridley.
For real? John Ridley?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't remember even his like is that I don't even know if that name was for real.
He just
But,
bummed me. He's done some for me. He's been hit or miss. He either does really good or he just like does something. I was like, dude, why did you write that? Like, why did you do that? You have no business writing it. And as a matter of fact, both times it's been in direct reference to Superman. Like he has no business writing that character. He just has a tragic misunderstanding of that character.
let me just tell you who's up next. Next time in 1993, some mean girls bully a misfit teen at an idyllic summer camp. When the teen reclaims her power after an encounter with the silver coin, what follows is the stuff of horror movie legend, and it's by Kelly Thompson. And this is I don't want to say the splash, but the ad for the next page looks like it's a little bit of a Friday the 13th homage. Again, sorry for the glare there, boys.
Yeah, I might have to go pick this up. This sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds pretty interesting.
I was like very in and out of my LCS this week because I took advantage of my lunch break to not eat lunch and go grab my books.
Very good. I'll give you guys just a quick once over.
Oh yeah, God, here we go.
It's franchise time, baby, right?
Franchise time, hit it.
I gotta admit, after reading this issue, I'm not so sold on the new suit anymore. They actually had a scene where Spider-Man beats the encounter that they're dealing with and poses for selfies with people in the crowd, and that turns out to be like 2 or 3 blocks of the story, and I was just like, damn it, like why are they doing this silliness? But again, it was just tied into J. Jonah Jameson trying to keep promoting the website that Spider-Man's now affiliated with, and Spider-Man doing fan time. But yeah, again, it's yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's it was probably 3.5 out of 10.
It just sounds bad.
3, yeah. It's I almost missed Dan Slott, almost. But yeah, I'm not going to say that I do, but yeah, it's yeah, but yeah. All right, man. This is all you. Let's go,
dude. I enjoyed this. Per Ryan and Chris before the show, I have to say disclaimer. This is the Jeff Johns book, and yeah, we enjoyed the Snyder Cut, and some crappy allegations against him, but so disclaimer for everyone out there.
Disclaimer: I picked up a Canadian artist.
Real hard here.
Yeah. I don't pay attention. I try not to pay attention to anything like that. I just like to enjoy my comic books. But this was great. This was really great. This was off to an amazing start.
Yeah.
For me, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, that's an absolute dream team because he's a fantastic artist. Johns is a fantastic writer. And what we have here is them two stepping out of the big company to go to Image to write one of their own stories. And if you look inside of the book, they are both credited as the storyteller. So I don't know if that's just because Johns is doing the visual storytelling. I mean, Frank's is doing the visuals and Johns doing the words, or if they actually collab together on creating this character or not. But here we go. Thank you, Joe. It was a great and loved it. Pick of the week. It was really good. So this was a fantastic week between Seven Secrets, Swamp Thing, Suicide Squad, Geiger, and Sumerian. Dude, I'm like, wow, what a good week. But this was so fun. Like, I have no clue how this man has inherited these abilities, but I've seen a couple of clues, and they're not like they're hidden clues. When we get these guys in the beginning, like just kind of checking some Geiger readings and everything. Ryan, have you read this?
No, I have not.
Ryan is Team Cyborg.
Yeah. Are you boycotting this?
I don't know that I was boycotting it, but yes.
Okay.
Say yes.
I mean, it just never really was on my radar at all. And then it
dude,
started like the week that it came out, everybody's like, "Oh, Geiger's so good," and I'm like, And then I saw Jeff John's name on it, and I was like, "Yeah, good luck getting the second issue."
Oh yeah, because of delays. But these guys, it's the dream team of delays also. But these guys are doing some Geiger readings, and they're trying to see how toxic the ground still is. They're like, yeah, it's still uninhabitable, blah, blah, blah. And they're right next to a giant crater, which is like awesome. And they refer to the
which is like awesome.
It was, man. They refer to the event that scorched the earth as the unknown war. And we go a little bit farther into the book, and you realize that because no one knows who shot first, but it's nuclear holocaust is what it's looking like. And Chris, did you catch all these little
yeah.
All these are different news report bubbles.
Yeah.
And there's some
those are not little news report bubbles.
They are. Because if you caught the content that they gave you, it was not nearly enough. Because one of the ones that they point out is sad news from India now. Maury Muddy Davis, the Vietnam veteran and recluse cartoonist who created the beloved Junkyard Joe strip, has died at the age of 77. Well, why is that relevant? When you get to the back, there's a Junkyard Joe comic strip. And obviously, this is going to get into some of like almost like political satire of the politics that was going on in the book. So another one, the unexplainable metal monolith found at the site of the skirmish at Island Mound began vibrating earlier today. And that's all they say about that. And then he goes on for other ones about like who shot first, blah, blah, blah. But then it just goes out. This family is running for a bunker. So they've got a bunker. And if you look at the dad, his hair is thinning extremely bad. He's not old, but it's thinning extremely bad. He's telling his family, we'll be able to live down here for as long as we need to because how we have it set up. And she says, well, what about your medication? He says, I don't have enough. She said, it's not going to last forever, blah, blah, blah. So the dog starts barking. You turn and look, it's at a warhead going off. He runs out there to get the dog. Crazy neighbor with a gun shoots him in the leg and says, we'll be taking that near shelter, boy, or something along those lines. And he basically tells his wife to slam the door, don't open it for no one. And they shoot his dog, which was absolutely horrible. She didn't even look. What a coward. What a coward. But
I thought we were going to have a John Wick moment, I got to admit.
Dude, it got there real quick, actually.
Yep.
And that bomb did it for him because they were about to shoot him. And in that moment, there's the flash of light. Boom. And what an awesome page turner that was. Because then this right here, this two pages right here, wow. Like, this Gary Frank is amazing.
It's very reminiscent of Banner.
That is so good. Ryan loves this stuff. That's why he's not going to read it, so I'm trying to give him a good review of it here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even need to read it now.
Well, you said you weren't going to read it. Are you going to read it? I'll tone it down.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, probably won't. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it flashes 20 years later, and we're back to the guys that are kind of just scanning the grounds and everything, and they come across this crazy little wall of crushed cars and a door. So they're like, what is this crap? And so basically this dude pops up on the top of it and says, y'all got to get out of here, get out of my place, whatever. And they've been talking about the legend of this guy, Glowing Joe, this dude who walks these lands without a suit on. And then they see this guy with a suit and they kind of talk on like, oh, that can't be him. He's not 20 feet tall because his reputation precedes him. But he jumps down and he basically starts beating the hell out of them, like busting their noses, breaking their arms, all this and that. And then what does one of them say to him? that they made a smart comment because they were acting like they're about to steal his stuff, saying like, if you don't want us here, you should have put up a sign. So he says, okay, I'll give you a sign, and pulls these two sticks out, and then he goes atomic on them. He said, I'll give you a sign in neon, and goes full on Geiger, which was really cool because then they pretty much just take off. He takes her explosives. He walks past the tombstone. He has a dog with him that's got two heads, obviously from the genetic mutations from the radiation. He's talking about reading books, but we don't have any books to read because we read them all. He's got a Junkyard Joe book in there. He's been marking off the days behind him. It's just kind of a real quiet life. He's clearly just bored and depressed. And then he walks up to a bunker door and says, I know you can't hear me, but I'm here until it's safe and you open the door and we can finally be a family again. So for 20 years, he's been guarding the bunker that he knows his family is in, alive and well, which was awesome. And then you get into like a little bit of the bad guys and stuff that are living and ruling in Vegas. They've taken up these casinos and they've taken on the style and guise of the themed casinos. And they kind of give you a 2-page flash to get an idea of what the crime was, taking up residence where, and you kind of get to see their kind of style, their gaming stuff after the casino, which is awesome for a post-apocalyptic style. I thought it was really cool. It was smooth. It was well written. It had some good heart to it. Some couple of good action moments just to have them in there. But
Sounds like a Fallout fan fiction in the style of Undiscovered Country.
I don't get those references. I didn't read Fallout.
Fallout's a video game series.
Yeah.
That was my point.
I do see a massive twist coming with it though, Mark. I bet you his family's gone. Like the door will open up, or he'll get that door open, and they're not in there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a big twist somewhere.
Yeah, overall it was good. I know I just kind of like went through that like page by page. That was definitely so Ryan didn't have to read it.
I'll be the scapegoat.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely recommend reading it if you get the time. I think you'd enjoy it.
I can appreciate also why you don't want to read it. So whatever you want to do, man, I'm good with it. But yeah,
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. The last book I read,
everybody's really excited about it, but this is also the kind of book where like hype dies fast, Like everything that I see that gets like this hype, all of a sudden it just like dies after the first issue. I don't know why.
I wasn't too I almost missed it. Like I did my new comic book day video and everything, and I mentioned it, but with no idea that this was the book because I was aware that Johns was going to be doing an indie title. Like that was announced before Future State. But yeah, I almost missed it. I didn't get included in like one of my pool list books. I had to call my LCS late in the game. Like, hey, can you add one of those in my box, please, sir? He's like, why, yes, sir. But yeah, last book, Sumerian, was really cool. These are just the adapted weird tales, the original Conan stories, with just kind of minor alterations to them just to make them flow in the format that they're in. This one was really good. It's the artist from 2 stories ago, so it's a little rough around the edges, but I'm okay with that. It is a Blaze. It's not like they're rocking with tons of money, but it was smooth. It was fun. It was beastie, and it had this real Prometheus feel to it toward the end, like when they show up at this temple on this island that's supposed to be uninhabited, where they plan on hiding out. And there's these weird iron statues around them that are not human, and yeah, it had this real creepy vibe to it. So I'm excited for more of that. I'm also excited for my retailer exclusive that I ordered to come in.
Cool.
That's a good point. Or they're dead in there. What if his family could be dead? Wonder if they needed him to maintain that shelter in order for it to work properly, to keep the plants alive or whatever he had going on. Or they ran out of food and they went cannibal. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
All right.
Did y'all read Green Lantern?
I didn't, but go ahead and.
I really don't have much to say about it. It seemed like it was designed more for like Green Lantern heads. I don't know. Like it definitely didn't seem like we were diving into the beginning of something with the Green Lantern. It felt like we were diving into the universe of Green Lantern, and it was a lot. So I don't know. I like the main character. I mean, she wasn't really the main character, but the main character. I guess her name is Teen Lantern. I don't know, but she was cool. She's like this spicy little Latina that's got an attitude problem, you know, and like some gauntlet that gives her like ring powers. And she kind of stirs up a little bit of chaos, and John Stewart and the Hawk people have to step in and get involved, and it gets pretty crazy pretty quick. But it's dealing a lot. It kind of reminds me of like the chamber scenes from Star Wars, like the prequels, where you have like all these different alien races, and they're like debating about like what portions of space they control, and people are like getting into big arguments and stuff, and like it's a lot. Like it was a lot going on in there. So I probably won't stick around on it, but if you're really into Green Lantern in that universe, it might be something really interesting. They stood in solidarity to defeat a monster. That was lame. What's that? Green Lantern? Yeah. That was a strange turn at the end there, but they just like, okay, we're not gonna fight anymore, and they all like depower. And so by not fighting, the monster loses. It's weird. But I guess it's supposed to be symbolic.
That's a Care Bears move, classic Care Bears move. They just lock arms, look at the problem, and they care.
Stare.
Yeah, the Care Bears stare.
The countdown, then the stare.
What books y'all looking forward to get? Pretty much just my normal pool list books at this moment. There's nothing major on the horizon that's groundbreaking, other than like really, I guess the most exciting one would be Spider Shadow that's starting next week. For me, just I've been itching to get on a Spider-Man title. I tried nonstop; it was garbage. And yeah, so looking
Issue
forward to that
1.
Spider Shadow.
Home drops this week. I'm excited for that. I'll probably cry.
You went into that one pretty hard on your video.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very delicate subject to be handled, but it should be a fun read, worth it, I think. And I really like the art and the characters and stuff in the preview. Like they were very endearing, so I'll check it out. It's an ad that worked.
The new Superman coming out Wednesday, which was Mark's hot pick on the collab video that him and I do that comes out every Sunday. That's shaping up to be a really good book as well. So yeah. At this point I've got some good I'm not going to put him too high, but I've got good expectations for Philip Kennedy Johnson taking over the super title, both of them. Yeah. I like the fact that both Superman and Action Comics are walking hand in hand right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Feels like we're getting 2 chapters a month of the same ongoing story, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they dropped the bi-weekly thing or bi-monthly or whatever, but isn't that kind of the same thing?
What's that?
If you're getting Action Comics and Superman telling the same story, you're just getting a Superman book twice a month, you know?
Yeah. For now, it's easy to diverge it. And what I'm hoping that we're going to get is what book is Superman locked into when it all comes down to it? Action Comics. Right. Superman is locked into Action Comics. Or, I mean, it can really go the other way, but in my mind, he's locked into Action Comics. But you can easily lock him into Action, have him go do something somewhere, and let Jonathan front run his own book smoothly. We have the setup without having to create Jonathan's own title. We have the foundation for him to front run his own book, and I'm hoping that we get that without having to get rid of Superman, because I don't want to see Kal-El go anywhere, but I want to see Jonathan front running without his dad for a little bit. There's just such good stories to be told there. And we're at that point now. He's well-rounded. He's back from his time with the Legion. Those first 2 issues that we just got, what was it, 1029 and issue 29, like that just set it up perfectly for him to step away from his dad.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my thinking on it is like I like the way that it started out with the part one, part two back to back. But what I would like to see is let's see Action Comics take Superman from here and kind of get his perspective on leaving the role. Meanwhile, we have Jonathan in the Superman book, and we're getting his perspective on coming into the role.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You know, and it would make sense because whenever he does like get to that moment where it all kind of tips and he's like, I am Superman, it's gonna like hit hard because he's in the Superman title, you know, and it'll feel like he's picking up that mantle. So that's what I hope happens is we get these two characters go different ways, and they started at the same point. We got that solid setup. Now let them go different ways, and let's see how Clark handles leaving while Jonathan handles coming in too, you know.
And I'm seeing like do you remember like about a year or so ago when they were talking about 5G and doing the whole younger heroes taking over and everything and just doing that hard reset to do that? It's looking like we're working our way to that inevitable point.
Yeah.
Like we've got Teen Lantern, we've got Yara Flor coming in, we've got Jace Batman coming in, we've got Jonathan stepping up, Robin's about to step out into his own title. You saw at the end of that Suicide book how that character that they want from Titans Academy was a future state character. Like you're just seeing so much embedded in here, you know, it's just really cool. So maybe that they're just kind of like you mentioned before, Ryan, they used future state to salvage what they could without losing their whole house on that flop of the thing, and now they have a better idea of what was more receptive and what was more enjoyed. What's going on, Sam? But yeah, Superman. All right, last things that I'd like to cover real quick if you guys have the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair warning, everybody in the chat, if you have not watched Falcon and Winter Soldier yet and you do care about hearing about it, bail. And we're about to talk about episode number 4 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And in my opinion, these episodes keep getting better and better every episode.
Yep.
Because this was insane.
Yep. Just think how far away we are now from that whole bank scene from episode 1.
Dude, I feel like he doesn't even need the loan anymore. Like how is he like that's all right, real quick. How do you have the money to go rogue, travel the world, purchase guns, ammunition, clothes, food, lodging? How do you do anything without money? But you need a bank loan just to pay one bill on your house?
His sister needed a loan. He wanted to co-sign the loan, and he's obviously on the he's being financed to do this.
Who's
by your government.
I can't account for them.
I feel like that whole thing, like there was, you know, this idea that they're gonna justify that whole first episode, and like the farther we get down the line, the less justifiable it becomes, you know. That's like my one issue with the show.
I think that's going to be right. I think that's going to be one of the twists that Sharon is the power.
That seems to be the prevailing theory at this point because she knows too much.
I watched a couple of videos where they spoke about Easter eggs about this episode, and there was a scene where they cut to her and everything was okay with her, and they cut to another scene that she was in, and she had like some damage around her eyes and her hand and her knuckles were a little bloodied. So I think that she dealt with something she had to, and I think the big surprise is going to be she's going to be the power broker.
Says a lot about the business, really. But yeah, this episode was awesome. It got to that point where, John just kept taking loss after loss. Like I can't even say their name. Like the Black Panthers guard.
Yeah.
They waxed him.
Gorja Minaj.
Those people.
They were so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that scene was awesome.
Yeah. It's very well choreographed.
Like
Walker definitely crossed the line. But it was
Yeah.
cool how she like beat the tar out of him, picked his shield up, held it, and then gave it back. Like, dude, you're nothing. This weapon's nothing to them. Just
Yeah.
it was all just nothing.
Right. Yeah.
To offer a compliment on you guys' end of the spectrum here. This was like Zack Snyder level iconography and framing in this episode. Like the way that they handled so many different visuals was amazing. Like the end scene with the shield and everything, that was an amazing shot to end the show on. But even like whenever she hits Lamar, the way that he hits that wall, like there is nobody that watches that scene and is like, huh, I wonder what happened there. Like the way that he hits, like it drives the point home, you know. Like I was impressed with how well they handled a lot of the visuals in this episode.
It was cool. And him actually getting to that point, we see that he didn't necessarily willingly take the super soldier serum. And again, real quick, Zemo he was all of a sudden my favorite character in the show last episode. Now he's even more my favorite character because that dude, like when it all comes down to it, I was talking to my wife who hasn't watched yet. She asked, "Is he a bad guy?" I said, "Well, I really can't answer that because his wife and kid were killed, and he has the means to do something about it to the people that he feels are responsible." And she goes, "Yeah, he's not a bad guy." I said, "Right, right. I cannot condone his actions, but I can't condemn him for them either." And when he held so true to himself, when he had Carly dead to rights, and he saw all that formula, his natural reaction wasn't, "What can I make off this? Oh, can I take this?" No, it has
Destroy
to
it.
go. Destroy it. Dude, like, fantastic. Fantastic writing, holding true to that character. They did so good.
And it was and Daniel Bruhl is a fantastic actor, and they casted Zemo perfectly by hiring him. Like I often make the comment that I think the actor that portrays Loki is the best actor in the entire MCU. Well, I think Daniel Bruhl, I hope I'm saying that the right way, is probably a 1B to the man that plays Loki as the best actors in the entire MCU. But yeah, on Ryan's point, this was visually a beautiful episode to watch, and the angles were fantastic. To me, they're really showcasing, pardon me, the director's skill in this, letting them have freedom with whatever the cinematography fits the scene, and they're filming Europe beautifully. I know that it was filmed. Some of the scenes are filmed in Georgia, obviously, but the stuff they were doing in Prague, and they really show how beautiful it is, especially with the just walking on the streets and showcasing the fact that they're walking on cobblestone. But yeah, and again, Wyatt Russell is actually doing a real good job.
Yes, I was about to say,
also,
like, he crushed it when his little buddy was it Battlestar got killed.
Yeah,
Dude,
Battlestar.
that acting level just went from like, dude,
Yeah.
like it's just not natural seeing you in this suit or in this role. But when Battlestar died, that like he flipped.
To me, they've had him showing little glimpses of PTSD. He has small ticks here and there when he's not getting his way as the character. The character's doing small, subtle things to represent that I think he's suffering from something far greater that's in his past. I'm presuming because of the fact they really spoke about his military background, that he's been awarded with the Medal of Honor 3 different times, I think is what they said. So I'm thinking he's suffering from PTSD. And then when Battlestar went down and went down hard, and we all knew on impact, he's finished. And I was a little surprised to see that they finished the character off as fast as what they did. You could see the switch go off, and now it's I'm going to reveal the fact that I took the serum, but my God, he is just vicious.
Dude, he is a well-trained soldier.
Yeah,
because when he went down and he just sat there with his buddy for a minute, everyone just cleared the room. He didn't even look to see which way they went. He just stood up and ran
through the window,
straight out.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, through the window, like
insane.
Well, and
full like, trust in self.
I mean, to me, what's amazing about this show is like how it's building, like the moral gray area into the universe. You know, like we see opportunities where like Falcon's pretty altruistic, and and Bucky's trying to become altruistic.
Right.
But it's not that they don't have those opportunities, but then you look at like John Walker, we went from like hating the guy the moment he shows up to like now we kind of feel for him when he sees his buddy go down, and like you said with Zemo. But what really impressed me was that scene whenever Battlestar like hits that wall, the reaction shot from the actress that's playing Carly.
Yes.
Like her reaction shot, it just expressed every bit of like she's gotten to know them and they become people, not just the enemy anymore. And like she feels it to me, it looks like she felt almost a sense of remorse, like I've gone too far, I pushed too hard, like almost like the weight of the responsibility of having the super serum in you suddenly like clicks for her, like how dangerous she is as a weapon, And so I think like I'm really excited for what this means when we get into the movies and stuff. Now that we can have like these very like morally gray worlds and these characters that have already kind of been built up so that we feel for their side of the equation a lot more.
Yeah. They're totally setting it up for the Winter Soldier and for John Walker to go hand to hand in the next episode. I just hope that we get to see the tentacles of Omega Red show up or Batroc show back up too.
Okay, and Joe says he has been wanting to cut loose, and given the opportunity or desire, he was really acting out what he has wanted to do. In many cases, it was really cool. Yeah, he's finally capable. And that's where that frustration really shown in this, where he's trying his all and all of it's for nil.
Yeah.
He's just so out of his league. And then now, like when you put him on par with these people, they're all of a sudden nobodies. Like he is just walking through them.
Yeah, he sidestepped out of Steve's shadow and trying to be what Steve was, behind the shield and with the shield. And now we get to see what he is. And again, personally, I think he's damaged. I think he's damaged goods, and the fact that he's taken the serum is just going to amplify the fact that he needs help. And they've made the wrong decision. Yeah.
I mentioned that in episode 1, how Falcon deals with soldiers and vets with PTSD.
Yeah, he's a counselor. Yep.
Falcon is specifically trained in this area, so maybe that he'll be able to get into that.
I love his reaction shot whenever he bends that metal.
Yeah.
Falcon's reaction shot.
He shot it up, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He wasn't bringing that back home to the homeland. He'd shot that right up right away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was just absolutely beside myself excited with this episode. Pumped for the next episode. Like I said after episode 1, that this is the one I've been excited the most for, and it's really hitting right where it was, where everyone who I talked to was excited for it. It's delivering what everyone was talking about they were wanting to see. Just that globe hopping, military spy-esque thriller stuff. And for the record, like Zemo had that awkward dance scene in that last episode.
Yeah.
But he is so cool that good on him. You see like Spider-Man do his awkward dance scenes and you cringe. Zemo, you want to get out there and get, you know what I'm saying? You just want to go with him. Like this guy's got life figured out. I'm in.
Yeah, he's such a good actor. It's such a fun. He must have had so much fun playing that character. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Next.
Yes, sir. Ryan, have you watched it?
Yeah.
All right.
Take it away.
How great is this show? Let's be honest. Great. There are good episodes of shows out there. Invincible, week after week, is hitting on every cylinder. I again, you like Mark mentioned earlier, shame. I feel ashamed I did not read this comic book.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and so
I've never read any of it, so for me, this is all like a first experience. It always inevitably comes down to the comments. So I'm just gonna say, Invincible has impressed me more than Winter Soldier week after week. I think this week was especially good for Falcon and Winter Soldier, but still, Invincible brought it. They have brought it with every episode. I love how well blended it all is between the family drama and
Yeah.
the action of
You're still here?
superheroes and the overtopness and
Yeah. That fight scene where Invincible gets,
Battle
brought
Beast.
as close to death as what he can be.
when he gets
Battle
battle
Beast.
starred.
It was just
Yeah.
just toying with him, just like, okay, next man up. Okay, now Battle Beast. I'm gonna level up a little bit here. I'm gonna level up a little bit more. Level up a little bit more. Now I'm mad, and this is what I'm gonna do to all of you. And like,
It was
you just
cool
kept
how
waiting
it
for a sec.
happened.
Okay, Omni Man, come on, man, come on, man, come on, help out your kid. And then like, wait a minute, is Omni Man behind all this? Like what's really going on here? But yeah, it's I the small kid in me can't say that it's better than the Marvel production that we're having right now. But my God, it's so damn good.
Yeah. It's like two
Yeah.
uncomparable things, but at the same time, I just
Yeah.
have to say, like, Invincible feels a little more satisfying every single week.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, like, we've seen so much over the top stuff in Invincible, and then this week, whenever Homeboy like drops the gold armor, it comes flying in to like save Invincible, and he just like snatches his arm and twists it, and it just like you hear it snap, and like I was like, whoa, okay, I still was not prepared for that. Like,
Right.
those moments still get me. I can't
It
believe
was cool
what
how
this
that
show
like
is.
classic comic format hoorah moment, it just doesn't work. And when you're trying to do a realistic scenario, you're like, dude, you have no powers. Why would you drop your suit and run in? What are you doing?
Yeah, it made
Makes
no,
no
sense. But
sense.
for some reason, in my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah, we got this. We got
Oh,
this. We're
thank
gonna
God
at
he's
least,
dropped his armor. He's coming to save him
yeah.
now. Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean, my
that's
immediate
right.
thought was like, we're at least gonna get Invincible like out of the building, so that he doesn't die or something. And no, like they just whatever. He don't have no powers. You were dumb for thinking it.
Thought it was awesome how Omni Man just sat it out. He told Mark that you're a Viltrumite. This is beneath you, and he warned him, and he just lets it play out. But he helped out in his own way and called in that anonymous call to Cecil and everything. And but yeah, it was really cool. And Titan really fleeced everybody. No one saw that coming. But I don't see the point in really trying to drive him up to be such a cool character or anything or a big deal because when it comes down to it, a decent punch from Invincible kind of finishes him. But
Oh
maybe
yeah. Like,
maybe that
we've
was
been down that road. Yeah.
maybe that was the end of his story arc. Maybe it's just enough to show you that he got his kid off the street and his wife and
Yeah.
to a better place and got out from somebody else's pocket. Like
He made
his
a come up.
story. If you look at just his story so far that we've seen, it was a complete story. This man who was in someone else's pocket, forced to do crime for a crime boss, and he's doing it just to help his wife and kid who are in a bad way. He just turned the entire tables, and now he's living good on top and in control
Right.
of the element
Essentially the
that
new
would hurt
Kingpin.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like they kind of gave you a complete story arc for his character real fast in just those couple moments that we've seen him. We know this, Joe. This is assumed. Yeah, there we go. Appreciate it, Mike. We're drinking.
Yeah.
But,
Grady Landrum. So yeah, I wanted to ask this. Like, to me, this show feels like the Boondocks. There's like this way that they use music and tension and silence and absence of background music and stuff that like really just like hones in on like what the scene is about. Like whenever it's very serious, you'll notice like everything goes away. It's just the voices exchanging dialogue. And
the
then
body
like you get
blows.
into the
Yeah.
comedy, yeah, and the way they use music, like the soundtrack comes in and it all just like fits all perfectly and stuff. They had the song in this one, "I Am the King" or whatever. Like all of that stuff. Like to me, it feels a lot like the Boondocks. I don't know if that's a thing, if that's like a lot of the same team or something, or if I'm just making it up. But that's something that came to my mind like early on. I was like, this has a lot of the same like spirit and vibes as some of the Boondocks.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. Now that you pointed that out, I can see the same flavor that's there, like the absence of music, and then the overbearing of it, and then again silence to represent the heavy dramatics, and especially when they do their fight scenes. Like when you, the one thing I've noticed in the first fight scene where he's doing what he's doing and he's stopping everything with just one hand, and you can see that's lighthearted and they play that up. But when they walk into into the main office, the top floor, the penthouse there of the office building, it's silence. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, now we're gonna see now, like he's way in over his head here, and his old man was right, and he gets a mud stomping that I didn't see coming.
Right.
Like, and literally a mud stomping, like, and like he kind of like, okay, man, like, you still there? Like, is he still breathing? Like, I know it's his show, but like, are we gonna do it? Like, are we ending it right here? Like, is this gonna be the cliffhanger? But the one thing I do like about this show is that how they kind of bring in a new villain at the end of every episode, and then it's like not really addressed. Like, it's okay, now this villain's out there, and we're on to this, and now this villain's out here.
Like constantly seeding something for down the road.
What did y'all think of Robot's little the little added to the story? You know, he released the clones out of the prison, helped them get out violently, and then we find out in this one it's because he wanted their cloning tech so he could give them the blood sample. Where do y'all think that's going?
That U.S. government always up to no good, man.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Brother
Eye is always watching.
It comes from the other side of the border.
We only do Weapon X programs, okay?
I did have a question about Invincible and like secret identities and stuff, because I got the impression.
Chat, so go for it.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I got the impression I had early on is that like people know who Omni-Man is, and he's like, but then like Mark Grayson, they don't know that he's invincible, but they do know that that's his dad, so that the likelihood, like, I don't know, how do they handle the secret identities in Invincible? Because it feels kind of confusing if everybody knows who Omni-Man is, and he lives in this house here, and that his son is Mark, and then Invincible shows up with like the same powers and stuff. Isn't that kind of obvious? Because Omni-Man's like
you just ruined the whole show for me.
Omni-Man's like a celebrity style superhero, right?
Yeah.
But do they know where he lives and everything? I mean,
I don't
he does
know.
just
That's what
kind of
I'm
fly.
wondering.
He kind of just flies willy-nilly home and leaves the house. You know, just pops up 20 feet above the house and pals out of there to go pick up dinner from across the world, which was really cool how she sat there with the map and timed out his flight to 2 far points of the world to give herself time to go hunting. That was cool. All right, here we go. There we go. No one knows Omni-Man. Adam, Eve explained it.
Oh, I probably missed that scene.
Yeah.
So they don't know that Omni-Man is like the regular guy. Does he have a regular name? Yeah,
Does he
Nolan,
put on
right?
glasses?
He runs the Daily Bugle in his off time.
Yeah. I think that
okay. So we do know that no one knows who Omni-Man is, so they can't connect Omni-Man and Mark together. Okay, that helps me out. Yeah, see, Nolan. Haha, I knew. So Nolan Grayson is just a regular guy. Like the regular public doesn't know that he is Omni-Man. Okay. Right. For some reason, I felt like he was like a celebrity, reality TV star kind of superhero. But that makes more sense if nobody knows. Okay, cool. That helps.
Yeah. So this Friday, or when I watched the 2 shows, this was the first time I watched Invincible first. That's how pumped I was for Invincible. And I'm glad I did it. Not to take anything away from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Invincible, for just pound for pound every week, each episode's been so much fun and so much like gratuitous violence, and just like, my God, I haven't seen this kind of violence in a cartoon since HBO Spawn. Like it's so good.
Yeah. I love how the logo just keeps getting bloodier.
I didn't notice that.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Every time they show Invincible, it's like got more and more blood on it.
Yep.
Like at the beginning, it just says Invincible, and now it's mostly blood.
Oh, you definitely have to watch it, Orders. It is fantastic.
Yeah, I really hope that they don't necessarily address every villain in this season too. I hope that we get to that they carry over the villains
Some butt
into
threads, yeah.
into the second season. Yeah.
There's a movie. God, what movie? Oh yeah, Men in Black, which predates Invincible. When Tommy Lee Jones, at the end of Men in Black, is talking to Will Smith when he's all sad or depressed, and even in the opening scene when Tommy Lee Jones' partner is like retiring out, they make all those comments like, "No one ever just looks up anymore at the stars." You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about that in some of his talks. How people, like normal people, don't ever look up. They look where they're walking. If you're an astronomer, if you're into astronomy, every time you walk out of a building, no matter where you are, one of the first things you naturally do is you just kind of look up. It's just something that you start doing. But yeah. So yep, Invincible is great. If you haven't watched it, go back, watch it, check it out. Don't sleep on it. I would definitely suggest checking it out early on. Don't wait till it's over and you hear too much about it. Experience it because it is an experience. It's wild. But that pretty much wraps it up for tonight. You guys got anything else you want to talk about or cover before we dip out of here?
Oh, I read Project Project Patron.
Yeah, yeah,
The Steve Orlando book.
yeah. I saw that. I almost picked it up, man. It looked
Dude,
cool.
it's awesome.
So
I
it's
was
a
surprised.
dude like basically with a drone superhero, right?
Kind of, but it's like not just it is one person piloting it at a time, but there's a whole team behind it and they all have like different roles. And so really what it seems like what the first one doesn't really get into it too much as like the dynamic between them, but it seems like it is going to be like very interesting to see the drama behind the scenes of this like android drone superhero, because everybody thinks that this superhero died like years ago, and technically he did, but he's still there. You know, they don't understand how he's still alive if they swore they saw him die. So
Pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. I didn't really pay any attention to it when it came out, and then I happened to read it earlier today, and I was like, oh wait, this is actually really good. So if you haven't checked that out, it's worth reading.
I'm glad that you're able to make it, Mike. Yeah, I'm probably going to go back and check that one out. It definitely caught my interest. I was flipping through a book and saw the ad for it in the back, and then I realized that it came out. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go track that one down. Mike, you want to go eat dinner with Joe at Hell's Kitchen? Talking about Gordon Ramsay's restaurant? That'd be awesome. He said maybe, but I'm not putting out. Joe, you have to share some of your drinks with him. That's your only shot. All right, everybody. So you got 17 people in the chat. I've got 15 thumbs up. There's something amiss there, but be sure to hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Yeah. Share the channel out. Less than 30 subscribers away from 700. Let's try to hit that by this time next week. That would be great. So, yeah, until next time, guys, be sure to check out New Guy's channel. He's got content dropping daily. He's got stuff on any platform that you exist on. Check out. You're laughing, but that's a thing. Whatever your platform you're on, just do what you're supposed to for that platform. Look for his fuzzy face inside of an orange circle.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then the Comic Vet, of course, tomorrow's Monday, so Mail Call Monday drops tomorrow, right?
Yep. And Wednesday, new comic book day. And yeah, like this upcoming Saturday, I'm going to hop on Rob's Fat Stack of Comics for a stream. He's going to be unveiling some more yellow label CGC books, or pardon me, just yellow label slabbed books. And I'm going to be providing some commentary as he goes through a short box of slabbed grails and not so much grails. But yeah, that's always a fun, good time. And yourself, Mark?
Same thing as always. Real quick, Porter's Hide, I couldn't agree more. I enjoyed the New Mutants movie. I loved that it was outside of the normal format of the Marvel stuff going on. It was fun. It was fun.
Magic was
Definitely,
tremendous.
Magic was awesome.
Magic was
Absolutely
tremendous.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good actress they had play Magic.
So tomorrow I do have a giant mail call unboxing, a bunch of stuff that I was able to open up. Some retailer variants, some ratio variants, and AOK. Yeah, I opened up a lot of packages on my break today, which reminds me I have to make a thumbnail for it before I go to sleep tonight. But, yeah,
Good news.
yeah, I enjoy making those. They're actually kind of fun, but it doesn't take me long because I just use my regular whatever. It's not even an app; it's just the photos on your phone. Whatever you click, I just go in there. Very simple person when it comes to all this.
Well, it's working because you can't keep up with your subscribers. So
Mine is _comic_vet. There's a big green logo with my handle in it. Don't confuse me with
Here we go.
another IG guy who uses the same comic vet handle.
I
But
knew this was
yeah,
coming.
but yeah, I'm still a little sour. But yeah, well, there's only one Legion of Comics. There's only one new guy, but yet somehow there's.
You want me to tell you why there's only one Legion of Comics? Because I checked on this stuff first.
Well, we've had this
just-
conversation, and I did
You were
check it first. I did check it first.
I just dropped Chris's IG in the chat there for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't check this Legion of Comics thing first. I only checked it on YouTube because I didn't even have an Instagram or anything first. And yeah, love villains, love DC Comics, Legion of Comics, Legion of Doom, Legion of Superheroes. It just makes sense. And just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I can do and say things like this, like I'm Mark, but we are Legion.